Hello, everyone, and welcome to our FBLA Officer Candidate Town Hall featuring our rising juniors. This is an opportunity for our FBLA members to see what our candidates have to say about their campaigns. To explain how this town hall will work, we will be asking a series of questions. Some questions will be asked to all of the candidates, and some will be asked to a specific candidate. Please keep your answers to a limit of 1 minute. We will cut you off at 1 minute, so please don't go over. So we're just going to start off by introductions. My name is Bhumika Tarkar, and I serve as your chapter president. I've been in this organization for 7 years, and I've had a bunch of different roles, but I definitely enjoy creating content and the media portion. But I enjoyed my time as president too. Sanjay, you want to go next?
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Sanjay Ramesh, and I'm one of the community service officers this year. And I've been in FBLA for 4 years as well, all 4 years of high school, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Alan?
Hi guys, I'm Alan. I'm the Community Service Vice President. I've been in FBLA for 7 years. It's good to see you all here tonight.
And Darshan?
Yeah, my name is Darshan. I'm also a community service officer, and I'm also a member of FBLA for 4 years.
Okay, so now we're gonna give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourself in and out of FBLA. So who wants to go first? Anyone?
I guess I'll go.
Okay, Kevin.
Okay, guys. So my name is Kevin. I'm running to be your next year's junior officer, and I served as this year's media officer. So a few things that I just wanted to say was I'm glad for all the candidates here today, and I'm excited for what's coming next. Thank you.
Thank you. Allison, up next.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison Kim, and this year I serve as a membership officer, but I am interested in joining the competition committee here at Lambert FBLA. Outside of FBLA, I like to read and bake, and I'm excited to be here tonight.
Aishu?
Okay, hi everyone, my name's Aishu. This is my 5th year in FBLA, and I serve as the VP of Media and Communications. I'm really excited to be here today, and I think that all the candidates that we have here today are great.
Manas?
Hi guys, I'm Manas Mehta, and I served on the media team this year. And some things I like to do, I've been in FBLA for 5 years, by the way, and some things I like to do is to write and to listen to music frequently.
Yashas?
Hi, I'm Yashas Kotapalli. I've been in FBLA since 6th grade. This is my first year running as a high school officer. And some things I like to do outside of my free time are like reading books, editing, and just working out. And I'm looking to join either the competition or the media committee this year.
Thank you. Sheil, would you like to go next?
Hey everyone, my name is Sheil, and I'm a 5-year FBLA member, and outside of school, I like reading, gaming, and karate.
Yancy?
Okay, hey guys, my name is Yancy, and this is actually my first year in FBLA. And outside of FBLA, I am a part of a dance team, and I am also on the track and field team here at Lambert.
And then Arjun.
Hi guys, I'm Arjun. I've been in FBLA since 6th grade, so 5 years now, and I'm really excited to be here. Some things outside of FBLA that I like to do is hang out with my friends, play sports, and read books.
Thank you. So we're going to dive right into it. Like I said, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Some of them are going to be like all of you answer, some of them only a couple of you. For this one, we'll have everyone answer it. So can you describe a time when you had to lead a team or manage a project? What did you learn from the experience, and how will you apply that knowledge to your role in FBLA? So does Yancy, you want to go first?
Okay, so for me, I've been volunteering a lot throughout the past few years, and I've been like coaching basketball for like little kids, and I had to lead them to like show them how to do this and do a certain way. And because they are beginner, and I have to basically be their coach. And how I would interpret this in FBLA is basically leading sorry leading the FBLA community and inspiring them and motivate them, and like with new members and even students who aren't in FBLA to like support the community and help them grow.
Thank you. Sheil, would you like to go next?
Yes. So one time I led was during when I did karate, and we have a lot of younger students as well as older students. So once I became a black belt, I was able to help out the younger students, and this helps in FBLA as I can use my patience as members are learning about the club, such as freshmen and new coming off members, as well as like older members who don't know much about the club. So yeah.
Thank you. Aishu, can I go next?
So when I was in Sharon, I was involved at the STEAM program when I was in 5th grade. And over the years, I've continued to work with the groups of students that pass through as a mentor and as a leader. And primarily what I help them with is working on research projects and presentations and reaching out to experts on like the international level. And those same skills I was able to carry over the outreach and the presentations into FBLA this year to lead the media and communications team and creating social media and the Slack channel, its learning management, things like that.
Thank you. Manas, would you like to go?
So yeah, I don't have like a specific, a STEM team or anything I was part of, but a really good anecdote I like to share. So a couple of weeks ago, I was playing basketball with my friends, right? And so I was in it was like a little tournament. So I was put together with 2 other of my friends, and we were by no means good. Like we were terrible, okay? And but by pure luck, I was the worst. I mean, I was the best out of the terrible group, and so I was forced to take initiative in that situation. And even serving this past year kind of like helped me realize that, even in certain situations where you don't have the best moments, and even if you're not in the best team possible, you could truly succeed. But I thank God that I have such a wonderful team I'm part of this year with FBLA, and it's just amazing.
Thank you. Can we hear from Arjun?
Yeah, so one time when I led was through my experience on my school robotics team. And when I first joined the team, it was the school's very first year of having a robotics team. So we had limited resources and we were facing a number of challenges. My team only had 2 to 3 people. So there were times where we disagreed about the best way to approach a problem or struggled to find the right resources to help us learn. However, we remained committed to our shared goal and we worked tirelessly to overcome these challenges. And thanks to our dedication, teamwork, and quick thinking, we were able to progress from local competitions all the way to the state championship, and eventually we even won the world championship. Even there, we refused to give up, and we placed in the competition, winning the Create Award. As an FBLA officer, I would model leadership by being proactive, organized, and supportive of my team. I would prioritize effective communication and ensure that everyone in the team feels heard and valued. I am confident that we can achieve great things together.
Thank you. Can we hear from Allison?
So this past summer, I worked as a summer camp leader where I led elementary school students in math lessons and ELA lessons and STEM lessons. And one issue that I found was having everyone participate. There were some quiet kids, there were some kids who were really extroverted and like to participate a little too much. And so by allowing everyone to speak, like going around in a circle and just giving every child a voice, it really helped with participation and engagement. And it's something I would apply this year as an officer to help better our club.
Thank you. And can we hear from Kevin?
Okay, so recently I'm involved in 2 things. So the first one is Special Olympics. So I'm an experienced swimmer, so I teach special needs children every week how to swim, and they have like a swim meet coming up in like 3 weeks. And a problem I've like encountered with them is that they like lose attention, right? Because they have a short attention span. So some things that I've learned was to always never be impatient, you know? You got to be patient and keep on asking the right questions, and they may stray away, but some things that I've learned to do is, yeah, well, stay patient and you know, and endure. The second thing is that I'm a assistant teacher at a Korean school. And so I teach like 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds, and well, they're very energetic, right? So I've learned to like, yeah, stay calm and be patient because they can be some like frustrating at times, but yeah.
Thank you. So did everyone go ahead and have a turn to speak?
Oh, I haven't gone yet.
Okay, Yashis, go ahead. Sorry.
So one place where I showed leadership. So this past year, I worked with VT Seva as a tutor for math and English. So I was working with, little kids, like 4th, 5th grade. And one thing that I noticed, like whenever I was teaching them, they would do it properly. But then when I asked them to like explain what they were doing, they couldn't understand. They were just like regurgitating what I was telling them. And like, they didn't actually explain, they didn't understand the theory behind what I was teaching them. So I kind of fixed this by making them like, kind of read through the theorems and understand, before doing the problems, you have to actually understand why you're doing it and like the reason for it. So a way I could apply this on FBLA is just instead of just fixing people's problems, I want people to be able to, learn from what we're doing and make sure they're able to solve the problems on their own in the future, and they understand why we're doing it. They're not just doing it for, community service hours or just for college. I actually want them to first understand what they're doing and second, enjoy what they're doing. Yeah.
Thank you. So I enjoyed learning about all of your team experiences, but as I heard, sometimes there are people that aren't really engaged or whatnot. So how do you plan to increase engagement within such a large chapter with your specific committee that you prefer to be on? Let's go ahead and ask Aishu.
Okay, so this past year working with media, beyond the social media part of it, it also includes communications. And a challenge that we have encountered repeatedly is even with the transfer to Slack, it's just members not seeing dates, deadlines that they're supposed to know about, not getting the information that they need to get, whether it's because they're not checking or don't notice. And with a club of over 550 members, it's hard to keep everyone involved and up to speed. So next year, to address this problem, I think a hybrid system with more GroupMe and Slack would be better because more people tend to have GroupMe notifications on for the important stuff to check and Slack for the general information. And as we also transfer from It's Learning over to Canvas, just keeping all the information readily available for members, whether it's test prep resources or giving them information about upcoming events, social gatherings with FBLA, just so people know what's happening, and continuing to work on Instagram and increase our following like we have this year, I think would help increase member involvement and engagement.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yashis?
Yeah, so the two committees I wish to join if I become an officer are the competition committee and the media committee. Starting off with the competition committee. So what really drew me to FBLA was the competition part. Like the reason I joined was being able to do competitions with my friends, and that's what's kind of made me stay, because it's just really fun being able to work with your friends and be rewarded for that at like the regional, state, and national level. So I hope to make more people compete just in general. It doesn't matter if they place. I just want them to compete so that they can realize like they're missing out if they don't compete, and I plan on doing this by just in working with the media committee. I hope to make posts showing like what you can win as if you compete, like the national awards, the state awards, all the recognition, because that's what will draw people at first to competitions. And then second, once they start competing, I hope to make resources to all the competitions they want to do way easier to find, because the problem I've had while competing is just it's pretty hard to find resources about all these competitions. So I hope to just make like a master doc or some sort of spreadsheet that has access. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Can we hear from Arjun?
As an FBLA officer, my primary goal will be to help the organization achieve its mission of preparing students for successful careers in business. I'll work with other officers and members to create new opportunities and programs that help members develop their leadership and professional skills, connect with other students and professionals in their field, and give back to the community. Some specific things that I would like to do as an officer include organizing social events and community service projects, developing training and mentoring programs that help members like develop their skills and achieve their goals, encouraging members to participate in competitions and events that help them build confidence and showcase their talents, connecting members with alumni and partners in their field who can provide mentorship, resources, and career opportunities, and advocating for the interests and needs of members within the organization and in the broader community. So ultimately, my goal as an FBLA officer will be to create a positive and supportive environment within the organization that helps each member achieve their full potential.
Thank you. Can we hear from Kevin?
Yeah, so as you guys might know, I served as a media officer this year, and some problems I've encountered was that either we're disorganized or like we would wait until the last minute to create posts. So what I wanted to do next year is create a schedule so that we have constant reminders to keep our members engaged. And because they always like during school, I would always encounter people asking me like, when's the deadline for this? What's the due date for that? So I feel like using social media, because everyone's on social media right now. So I think that if we have scheduled posts and just constant reminders on top of that, we can keep everyone engaged and have like that engraved in their head that like deadlines, due dates, and whatever's like, and some things that, so FBLA is all about competition, right? So, but on top of like the regular SLC competition, there are like national competitions and competitions that are associated with FBLA. And I feel like not many members like are engaged in that.
Thank you, Kevin. Can we hear from Allison?
So this year I am interested in joining the competition committee here at Lambert FBLA. And one issue that we did face this year was having members engage and participate in the competition workshops that we did provide. And as Josh has said, many people join FBLA to compete. And I believe it's our job as officers to help bring them to their full potential. And one way to resolve this issue is by making it mandatory to attend at least one competition workshop. And at these workshops, we would bring in people who formally placed in the event so they can provide tailored competition resources like testing tips and presentation tips to the competitors so they can have the best opportunity to win at their event.
Thank you. Can we hear from Sheil?
So one thing that everyone loves about FBLA might be awards or competitions, but we all love connections. So the main thing is in the beginning of the year, I want to have a lot of socials, maybe one or two, because many freshmen or undecided people don't know about the club yet. So just by building those connections and learning from past officers or past members can help them already gain a team just to compete in. Because I remember as like a freshman or in middle school, I only did objective testing because I didn't have anyone to work with. And as I gained more connections, I was able to compete in many more events.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yancy?
Okay, so as we all know, communication is the key to success in the world today. And I plan to communicate with members and try to allow members to get more involved and try to get them to interact with each other. And we have like such an amazing community, and I feel like more people that get more involved, we feel like a one big family. And so as this being said, I will work to make a checklist kind of, because I know that some clubs like DECA also makes a checklist and posts it on social media to make sure that their members have what they need for upcoming events. And I think that we could also do that. And I would also use social media as a way to communicate with the members, and this way they would also get informed with all the information they need to compete in their desired competition.
Thank you. And Manas, did you already go?
I have not yet.
Okay, you can go now.
So to bounce off what Aishu said, I think we could really capitalize on Slack this upcoming year, sorry. And so this serving as a media officer we kind of, split it up into it's learning messages, Instagram posts, and Slack messages. But I think we could really integrate it all into Slack. We could still operate all those things, but Slack should be our forefront for communication because it's so reliable and because it's so convenient. There's channels for SLC, there's channels for just question and answers. And so I think we could really capitalize on that. One thing I was thinking is integrate our Instagram posts to the Slack channel so that we can maintain that consistency across all 4 or 3 forms of communication we have this upcoming year. And yeah, that's what my plan is. We can engage our members more with that.
Thank you. Did everyone get a chance to go? Okay. So now we want to test your creativity. We usually like to invite guest speakers. So I'm going to ask if there was one celebrity that you could invite to a guest speaker, who would it be and why? And how do you think that they could benefit to our FBLA chapter? Let's go ahead and hear from Manas.
So my natural inclination is Ice Spice, but in this current setting, in this town hall meeting, I wouldn't really go for that. I honestly think I would go for Mr. Kendrick Lamar. He's a really poetic guy. He's a rapper, but at heart he is a storyteller, right? And so if anyone knows the background of him, he was from a background where he was raised in the projects of Compton, and so I think the story of success he has could prove really useful, and like how going from poverty to like millions, if not billions of dollars in revenue is amazing. I think he would be also really well spoken when he presents to us too. But again, Ice Spice is my natural inclination.
Thank you. Can we hear from Arjun?
So the celebrity that I would pick would be Inky Johnson. I'm not sure if any of you know who that is, but he used to be a football player, and he actually one day when he was playing a football game, he got injured and the entire left side of his body got paralyzed. And while that seems terrible, it was actually an opportunity for him to become a motivational speaker. And now he's influenced people all over the world, and he's one of the biggest motivational speakers in the world. I think that it would be really good for him to be a part of FBLA just to inspire members and give them hope that there's a reason for everything that happens.
Thank you. Can we hear from Allison next?
So I would invite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to FBLA because, as you know, FBLA works to help students be more involved in the business industry. And The Rock is a man who is involved in several industries like wrestling, acting, even singing, and he even has his own alcohol line. So he's an experienced man in the business industry, and I believe inviting him as a guest speaker will help students be, one, more engaged because who doesn't love The Rock? And two, his experience can really help the students learn more about hands-on and how it is in the industry.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yashas next?
Yeah, I would choose Rowan Atkinson. He's a British actor. He played Mr. Bean and Johnny English. That's one of my all-time favorite childhood shows. He's a really funny guy. And the reason I would choose him is because high school is, a time of a lot of stress, and doing clubs along with your academics and everything can be really stressful, and it can hurt your mental health. So Rowan Atkinson's a really funny guy in my opinion. So I feel like just inviting him to come over and speak would really, make a lot of people laugh, and it'll just help them de-stress in, in an environment where it's very competitive here. So I just feel like that'd be a really good pick. Also, I've heard that he's a really nice guy when you meet him in person. He's very humble, and he's very, energetic, very kind, and that's just how I think everyone should be. So that's why I would choose him.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yancy next?
Okay, so I would actually invite Jeremy Lin. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's actually a professional basketball player. And the only reason I actually know him is from my coach, who would always talk about him and how he is a very loving and caring person, and he loves to serve children and help give hope and empowerment and leadership development. And he's just very inspirational, and he like helps a lot of kids who like need help, and yeah.
Thank you. Can we hear from Aishu?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Jay-Z for this one. I've listened to his music since I was a kid, and beyond the music industry, kind of similar to what Allison said, he's also a businessman. And I think what's interesting about his story that my friend and I learned after we wrote a research paper on him this year is that he essentially started with no guidance, no background support. He kind of brought himself up and became a really successful businessman and one of the most well-known pop artists of all time. And his priorities with business while also doing what he loves in music, I think both make him a really good role model for people to look at.
Thank you. Can we hear from Kevin?
Okay, so a celebrity I would bring on would be J. Cole. So essentially what he is, he's a rapper, okay? And it's someone that I listen to a lot because his songs have something like some message behind what he has, like what he raps. And mostly what he raps about is his childhood and motivation. And I feel like everyone needs motivation, you know, especially high schoolers. Yeah, like we always procrastinate, and I feel like we just need motivation. And on top of that, he's not like any other rapper. He's so unique because on like, you know how rappers are like, they like live the rapper life, like the gangster life. But J. Cole, he dresses humbly, and his content is like completely different from what other rappers sing, you know? So his is more about motivation and just living life, you know? And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. And lastly, Sheil.
I would like to invite a guy by the name of Childish Gambino, because he is not only a songwriter, but a comedian and a motivational speaker. So we could learn how to use different platforms to highlight issues, because behind all the music and the comedy, there are actual issues that he likes to portray, and we could learn a lot from that.
Thank you. Did I call everyone? Just making sure. Okay. So a lot of you are great students. You've mentioned a bunch of different extracurriculars, clubs, organizations that you've been involved in. And I know that junior year is supposedly the most busy year, and you guys are going to be juniors next year. So where will your priorities lie, and how will you manage your time, and how will you commit to FBLA? So can we hear from anyone? Want to go first? No. Okay. Let's pick Kevin.
Okay. So on my application, I wrote about scheduling. So over the past year, I've learned to add more like events and anything like that's on the top of my mind, because next year, I know that junior year, it'll be really hard because I'll have a bunch of things on my mind, like school, extracurriculars, FBLA. So there are things that I will definitely forget. So scheduling is a thing that I cherish, and it's something that I will utilize next year. And let's see. On top of that, I mean, other than that, I think that's it.
Thank you. Can we hear from Sheil?
So for time management, through the past years, I've had some leadership opportunities as well as extracurriculars. So I've learned how to balance my time well. And I've also had a lot of guidance from many people. And I'm pretty sure you brought on Miss Colleen from your internship, and she talked about time management. And I learned a lot from that about how to split up the time to have different intervals so we could work together as an officer team to hit those checklists before it snowballs into a big problem.
Thank you. Can we hear from Aishu?
Okay, so as work slowly increases each year, I find that when I end up procrastinating things, it's usually because I feel overwhelmed by them. But I think the really great thing that I've learned with FBLA over the past few years is that the officer support system is incredible, and everyone's always there to help each other out. So it's not just one person feeling like they're completely overwhelmed. And I think with that, as well as the fact that over the past year working with leading the media team, I've learned to manage two separate sides, media and communications. I think both of those hand in hand will help me next year as my class workload increases and other extracurriculars. I think I will also be able to keep FBLA a priority just because that's how it's been developing for me over the past couple of years.
Thank you. Can we hear from Allison?
So this year, I've been able to show my commitment to FBLA as I was able to participate and attend all the major conferences and meetings. And to counter my my issue with course load and a lot of extracurricular activities is by setting fake deadlines, a system of fake deadlines. And, to counter, to resolve like a major project like studying for a competition event or just, a big school project. By having a set of fake deadlines, like 1 week you do accomplish this, another you do this, I believe that really helps with managing my time. And as a member or officer of FBLA, I've been able to use this as, we had to create meeting presentations. So we, to the best of our ability, got it done before the actual meeting. And I believe I'll be able to grow on this as a officer this upcoming year.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yashas?
Yeah, one skill that I feel like that I'm pretty good at is time management. I use apps like Notion, Reminder, and I even text myself to make sure that I remember what's due when and when I should start and when I should finish it. So yeah, we have so many resources these days, so using technology will be a really big help in helping me manage my time. And again, junior year, we'll be doing a lot of things. I'll be doing, clubs, I'll be doing academics. So not only should I rely on myself, there's so many people who have experienced the same thing as me, like, my seniors and like adults I know. So if I ever have problems with that, I'll make sure to go and ask them because it's good to always have a support system in place just in case what you do isn't enough. So I'll make sure to ask them how did they manage it, and I'll make sure to base mine off of those people, and I'll try to make sure that I have time for everything and finish everything within the time limit. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we hear from Arjun?
As an involved Lambert student, I've always been able to balance my academic pursuits with all my extracurricular activities like sports, like golf and basketball. To make time for my duties and responsibilities as an FBLA officer, I plan to apply the same approach of effective time management that served me well in the past. I'll create a schedule that allows me to prioritize my obligations, utilizing like a planner or a digital calendar to keep track of important dates and deadlines. And I'll allocate specific blocks of time each day for FBLA related tasks and ensure that I remain focused and efficient during those times. Also, another thing I'll do is delegate tasks and responsibilities to other members of the team so that I can make sure that everybody's contributing equally. I'm committed to fulfilling my responsibilities to the best of my ability, and I'm willing to make any necessary sacrifices to achieve that goal. With a strong work ethic, effective time management, and a collaborative approach, I am confident that I can successfully manage my responsibilities as an FBLA officer while continuing to excel academically and in other extracurricular pursuits.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yancy?
Okay, so this year my schedule has already been pretty busy with schoolwork and many other extracurriculars and service opportunities in and out of school. And throughout this time, I had really learned about how to manage my time wisely. But with FBLA, my goal is to be able to ensure the success and growth of our chapter. And so I plan to utilize my time by making a plan or just simply having everything planned out beforehand so I don't end up pushing everything back, and I would always prioritize my time to ensure that I'm focusing on the more important things.
Thank you. And finally, Manas.
So first and foremost, I'm gonna value my responsibilities and priorities of FBLA first. Like that's my main goal. My main priority when I first get home is to do my duties as an FBLA officer, right? And so even with workload from school, I'm not gonna cast that aside, of course. But I feel like it was an honor serving this past year, and be even more an honor serving this upcoming year. And I value it a lot. I value that I've gotten this position a lot. And so I'm not gonna just cast it away. So I feel like that would be my first priority no matter what.
Thank you. Now we're going to ask the specific question. So I'm going to only ask a couple of people this question. What do you think our biggest challenge that Lambert FBLA has had this year, and how do you plan to fix it? So I'm going to go ahead and ask Yancy on this one.
Okay, so what I think the biggest challenge in FBLA this year would most likely be member participation during club meetings, because I've seen that throughout the first few meetings, there's a lot of participants compared to throughout the years, there has been slowly declining, and I will solve this problem by having to use social media as a way to interact with the members and getting them more excited. And I would also try, if we can, to allow like games at the end of the meetings, because I know, for example, for other clubs, they sometimes have games after the meeting. And I feel like this way, having our members to have more interactions throughout the meetings would allow better attendance in the future.
Thank you. Can we hear from Aishu on this one?
Yeah, so this year, I think along with member involvement, it's also a lot of members don't know the opportunities that are within FBLA beyond just the competitions. And so looking at, I think someone mentioned previously, Kevin mentioned the national programs that we have, along with community service opportunities. I think members getting more involved in these activities will show them more of what FBLA is beyond just the business aspect of it. And looking at the competition perspective, there's so many more competitions that also go beyond business. We have everything from healthcare administration to agribusiness. So getting members to understand that their interests also align with what FBLA offers them, I think will help increase involvement and engagement this year.
Thank you. Can we hear from Sheil?
I think a major thing that FBLA needs is like the initial outreach, because once we get going, all the meetings are really fun and interactive that help people like retain the members. But initially we need to include like socials or something that gets our name out there. And then after people actually join our club, we could actually start informing them about the opportunities that we have.
Thank you. Can we hear from Manas?
Like what Shield said, we should incorporate socials more, but not only just socials. I think we should do more interactive meetings and more and as Yancy said, more fun meetings where like they're doing games, they're playing games, we could do some sort of Jeopardy thing. I think this past year we did something for American Enterprise Day and Prematurity Week, and the turnout was amazing. I remember that, and we played bingo and trivia. It was so fun, even for the officers. It was really fun. And I think that could really engage the members if you do something interactive,
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask a different question. So this year we hit 500 members, which is really a proud accomplishment for us. But next year we're trying to hit that 600 mark. So how do you plan to increase membership even after such a big jump this year? Can we hear from Arjun?
So one way that I think we could increase membership is, like many of us have said, a more community engagement. So I believe that we could make more Instagram posts, and also, like someone said earlier, we could integrate the Instagram posts to the Slack, which could help members become more engaged, and also outreach to more people in Lambert, because there's a lot of people in Lambert who have heard about FBLA, heard that it's a big club, but they also like don't even bother joining. So I would like to see Lambert FBLA take a more active role. I'd also like to see them taking a more active role in social events, service projects, partnerships, and also partnerships with like local businesses and organizations. And by doing so, we would build stronger relationships with the community, and also at the same time raise awareness of the important work that FBLA does.
Thank you. Can we hear from Yashis?
Yeah, so we recently hit 500 members, and if we want 600, we need 100 new members. I feel like the best way to do that is to increase word of mouth recruitment. We should have incentive for current members to recruit their friends who aren't in FBLA, because no matter how many social media posts we make, no matter how much we try to message people, some people just won't be following Lambert FBLA on Instagram. Some people don't have those social media apps, and they might have just heard about it, but they haven't realized how fun FBLA is, So we need to give incentive for FBLA members to go out, talk to their friends, tell them to recruit their friends who might not have social media or just aren't interested, and they just need that tiny shove in order to join the club. And I feel like if we do that, we'll definitely hit 600 members next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we hear from Kevin?
Okay, so I have two things. So the first one is what I wanted was to say that members of other clubs think that FBLA is too much of a commitment, and they always stick with one CTSO. So I had a lot of friends that said that they're gonna join FBLA, but they're in HOSA and they didn't want to, work that much and be involved in too many clubs. So and they always think that FBLA is part of business. So I always tell them that FBLA provides a lot of fields, so such as healthcare, as Aisha said, with healthcare administration, as well as a different like sectors of business, so like agribusiness, as well as Aisha said, and business financial plan. And then the second thing I wanted to say was that I feel like we have to create a culture of FBLA. So it's something that we started this year. I feel like we've grown like a little bit of culture, like a hype culture. And I feel like people will crave that like closeness and friendship, and FBLA is all about that. So I just want other people to know that FBLA is very friendly and we have an amazing officer team and member. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Allison.
So I believe our success in reaching such a large membership count is because of our freshmen. They make up a large portion of our membership, and I believe by targeting this demographic, we'll be able to reach 600. I actually just heard today that this incoming class is of 800 people. So by targeting just a portion of this large group, we'll be able to achieve this goal. And as a membership officer, we actually work to increase our membership this year. And we found large success in promoting an open house, club rush, and by honestly going to the freshman classes in person. So by these people, these students seeing officers promote the club in person and directly, they'll be more likely to join the club. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that wraps up this town hall. Do any of you have any questions for me?
When do we get to know who wins?
So we will be announcing our officers at the banquet. So please RSVP if you haven't already.
Can I become an FBLA officer?
You can apply next year. Yes. Thank you so much for coming to our town hall. We appreciate all of your answers. You all did an amazing job, and we will open up voting on Friday as well as have our meet and greet. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone.
Thank you.
And if you have any
everyone.
questions, feel free to stay and
Thank you.
ask me.
Good night.